to the premiere episode of Boardroom Spotlight, the show that takes you inside the minds and strategies of today's most influential business leaders. Join us as we delve in the stories of visionaries who are shaping the future of commerce, innovation, and leadership. Wamunyima Stephen Ntenga, the dynamic CEO of Life Packages Solutions, a pioneering company dedicated to personal business development. Under his visionary leadership, Life Packages Solutions has become a beacon of accountability, attitude transformation, business acumen, customer care, and self-empowerment. Wamunyima's innovative approach and unwavering commitment to excellence has empowered countless individuals to unlock their full potential and achieve their dreams.
Wamunyima Stephen Ntenga are my names. Wamunyima is Rosie and Ntenga is Mamwe. And Wamunyima is my mother, Ntenga is my father. I was born 1980 and though I did not grow up with my both parents initially, I came to discover about my mother in grade 7. I came to discover about my father when I was 25, so I can safely say I was a fatherless child. I've lived in different homes where I gotten some household experiences and skills, and I did grade 1 to grade 12 in different schools. It's about 10 schools that I've been from grade 1 to grade 12, and I've been in school from grade 1 to grade 12 for 16 years, so I'm quite experienced with the education, which I might even say I can even teach. Educated myself from grade 8 to grade 12. I used to feed piggery, poultry, school farming, and school gardening. It was good for me. It was a skill, school farming. And when the school opens, they pay for education. I never knew where to get groceries. So when schools opens, it's a boarding school. When the school closes, it was the worst moment ever in my life, because everybody's left and you're left in the dormitories. So the school give you beans, cooking oil, 25 kgs of mini meal. And then for groceries, I used to go around the dormitories to pick up pieces of soap, the last soap that you throw. Colgate, I would pick up those Colgate. I didn't know the Colgate for blessing. I knew the Colgate for entering through the behind. Then I'll pick up lotions, cocoa butter, Crea, to just make up for 5 bottles for my groceries. And I remember in grade 12, I had TB, and I was admitted at Monze Hospital. I ended up having my exams from the hospital. I was there for 3 months. 3 months that I was there, I never saw any relative, I never saw anybody. Then from there, I saw people dying in my eyes at a tender age, about 7 people. Even at the time I was recovering, I still felt like I was the next one to go. Then from there, I had nowhere to go. I was discharged, I recovered, so I had to jump on the train, because I used to hear stories from school that when you jump on a train, you actually can afford to reach a destiny as long as you're busy hiding in the toilet. There are so many ways of getting it right anyway. So I managed, and I think between Kafue and Lusaka, I was caught. I remember being beaten badly, and I think that was the payment, and I was dropped at Lusaka. So Lusaka there, my first accommodation was the railway station, and I think they discovered that I was around there. I would go to Intercity bus terminus to go and do base jobs to just get food and maybe leftovers. And then I shifted. I stayed in Intercity bus terminus for a couple of days. And then my uncle, who loved me so dear, by the name of Mr. Lawrence Ntenga, we met up and he picked me. By the way, that man was there for me since childhood. I never put on new clothes. He gave me clothes. I look at him as a role model right now. So he picked me and we stayed in Mtendele. After we stayed in Mtendele there, I was given some grace period to stay with him, because by then also he was just coming from college, police college. So I discovered this guy who gave me an idea that you can still get a job from the airports. So can you imagine, I used to walk from Mtendele to the airports to go and look for a job. So I worked, I think, for several months, close to 3 months or so. That's how come one day this van stopped for me, and 2 ladies were having a discussion. They asked me, they said, "We've been seeing you going around. walking around alone here. What is wrong? I said, I'm looking for a job. What type of a job? I said, anything. Then they said, okay, jump. I saw them having a short discussion. They asked me to jump from behind the van. So when I jumped into that van, I found a lot of people behind the van. So that's how they gave me a lift. We reached, and when we reached there, I just saw people coming out, picking up mops, picking up trolleys, and I was trying to wonder what type of a job it was. So after they were done with everyone, then they called me, I explained my situation, and that's how I was offered a first job as a cleaner. I worked for Mr. Cleaner at Lusaka International Airport. So whilst there at Lusaka International Airport, I was given the busiest toilet, I think by the Concourse Old Airports by then in 2002. I was given the busiest airport toilet. So it was from there where the passion of customer service started from. Because life was so hard, we couldn't even afford our own lunch. You know, sometimes when the aeroplanes come, we rush to the rubbish pit there to go and pick up some lunch, leftovers from the aeroplanes. You pick up some stock just to go and sell. I was a porter also at the same airport. You know, when people are traveling, you have to go and pick up the trolley, and then you take it like that. So through good customer service, you know, I turned the toilet into an office whereby if you enter the toilet, I'll tell you, welcome to my office. And I call the toilet fax machines. Please, you are free to use my fax machines. Which one do you want to use? I'll rush the toilet, I'll spray the toilet, and I'll ask you to sit down. You may take a seat, sir, because it's an office. And when you flush, I'll rush by the door and I'll ask you if you enjoyed, sir. And it was quite interesting. And, you know, I made tips through that. I'll rush by the tap, I'll open the tap for you, you wash your hands. In case you've got bad manners, in my toilet, you find yourself washing hands. So through that, I didn't know that I was setting a standard for myself. I didn't know that I was positioning myself before the people. And this is how come I started attracting questions like, how much money do you get paid? Would you like to get a job? You know, and it was quite interesting. I could see the way for breakthrough through that. And that's how come from that point, one man asked me and gave me some good offer. And I remember my salary was 108 in 2002. So I just realized, no, listen, I make this money every single day. And for me, this is who God is, because a word came to my mind where God said, I live in people, not in heaven. So for me, what was really motivating me to give out this good best service was looking out for who my destiny helper is. So for me, a greeting was like, greeting everyone was like, are you the one holding my destiny inside my heart? So when I say good morning to me, it means, are you the one holding my destiny? Are you the one holding my destiny? And one day, I made my destiny helper who gave me a job, and he asked me, how much do you get paid? I said 108, and no, I told him 250, because I realized salary increment is one of the battles you never win in unemployment. Work-off conditions, one of the battles that you never win. You end up being seen like a union leader, and then you'll be fired for that. So I told him 250, and he said, okay, maybe I'll be giving you 350. Even you, Jose, can you refuse that? So I went, and if other people call it greener pastures, but for me, even what motivated me to work as a cleaner was the beginning that I had from school, feeding pig at poultry and so on. So being at the airports, this is the airports, everybody must be there, and the only thing that was bad there was just seeing bad things in the toilet. The job was so light. So I'm running this company, and what's the vision, what inspired me? Okay, right. So the vision is quite huge. God willing, I would love the information for Life Package Solution to reach out to every Zambian. Because I just discovered that for us to have a changed and a better Zambia that we wish to have and leave to our children as an inspiration, we don't need money. Since 1964, as a government, we've been receiving money. What we need is transformation, mindset change. Even the developed countries, I know the European countries, there are other countries that doesn't receive more money than what Zambia receives. So I feel transformation and mindset change. I wish one day it could be our wish to fill up the stadium just for giving out information, because it's biblical. Why do we perish? We perish because of lack of knowledge. Yes, so what inspires me? And what I've seen coming out of what I talk about to the people is quite inspiring. You know, I feel I'm changing the world, and changing the world does not mean I should go around the whole world. Even the one person I meet and talk to means a lot, means changing the world. So this inspiration came from, fast forward, after I left the airports. You know, I went to Africa actually to go and stay there for about 9 years, where I learned that there's another way of achieving education. Another way of achieving education, because there are 3 types of work. There's the toxic work, where you've got too much money, And then there's this other work where it's a big company, you're just proud to be part of this big machine, this big company. And then where there's a good boss. So I always followed companies where there were good boss so that I just learned how things are done. For me, it was a shortcut of education to learn how things are done. Working with South African boers, it was one great experience for me. That gave me an opportunity to come back home and fill up the gaps of what is happening. I looked at the attitude, and I remember when you opened Shaka's Grill at Mandahill, I think it was the most vibrant restaurant ever I've never had, where CEOs of the companies will see the activities in the restaurant and they'll ask everybody around who trained you. Then they'll mention Steve. And that's how Life Package Solutions was born. So the first attempt of just getting into this organization where I went to speak and how the response was really prompted me to begin to do more for Life Package Solutions. So I'll tell you, first of all, the background of attitude is raised from a question called, how do we lose business? So I'll tell you, 1% is because of death, 3% is because of movement of people, 4% flocked by nature, 5% bad recommendations, 9% cheaper products, and 10% is chronic complainers by nature. So if you add up all these percentages, they'll give us 32% of the reasons why we lose customers. And the difference of 68% is bad attitude. So if you ask me about what role does attitude play in a circle of business, it's a very huge role that it plays, because it is the only, people have said so many reasons why they lose business. There's no transport, there's no manpower, but I'll tell you, it's just about attitude. And attitude is actually what is selling most with Life Package Solutions. It's outstanding. I've seen so many facilitators rush into team building, customer service, and so on, but I'll tell you, it's attitude. Attitude, even when you look at the word attitude itself, when you pick up the numbers from A to Z, like alphabetical order, there's 26 numbers. For A is T, T is 20, T is 20, I is 9, T is 20, U is 21, D is 4, E is 4. When you add up these numbers, they'll give you 100%. 100%, if you want to achieve your good sales, your incentives, your everything, you're supposed to attach the right attitude. I've seen businesses closing because of bad attitude. And this attitude thing can never be described by a word. It is a component of areas that affects. These are good personality skills, communication skills, mannerisms, things that irritates. And when you put up all these things and you understand them, you're going to realize that the role of attitude in business is actually outstanding. And many people doesn't know that it's actually attitude that causes everything to be done. So one of the things that we do when we do our trainings, we give that greatest help. First of all, engage Life Package Solutions if you want to work with the attitude towards your work, your workmates, yourself, and your customers. So our information, if you look at the name of our company, Life Package Solutions, we realize that productivity at work is highly affected because of other personal lives, which includes relationship, basic financial management. Can you imagine you are broke and you are here and you got pressure for the landlord or something? You won't do the job. Can you imagine you're at work and you got pressure from your wife or your husband? There's this, whatever it is, you won't work. So even as we start our trainings, we normally start with the personal. We deal with your personal life, which includes financial basic management. How do you relate with God? How do you relate with your relationship and whatever it is? We also do some self-empowerment, where we do some business empowerment. We'll show you how to start a business, how to grow a business and everything. Even as you are working and making for the company, like I said, we work for the purpose of just learning how things are done. It doesn't take me 20 years to understand how things are done. And also we are trying to kill that mindset of you coming at work and begin to look at what you have as a job. Because the meaning of job is journey of borrowers. And because it's journey of borrowers, that's why you are just over broke. So what you are trying to bring in people with mindset of entrepreneurship, with business mind, to come and run a business. Because businesses right now, I can tell you, they are busy managing people's attitude instead of managing business. But if we initiate individuals to begin to have business mindset by running their small businesses, we are preparing them also to have what we call their own business. Because whether you like it or not, Jose, one of the 3 others are going to catch up with you, which is resigning, retrenchment, and retiring. And once you've retired, you're going to face the actual life. So as you are working for a good boss, you should be able to learn the skills. And the skills you're getting from employment are the skills that you're getting at your own place. So if you're a thief there, God has got no problem with blessing you. But if you open your own company, you're going to employ a bunch of thieves if you're a latecomer, and that attitude is going to affect you. So we are busy also trying to make sure that people balances both personal and business at any given time through whatever they are doing. Okay, so some of the business strategies that we are offering to our clients are business systems. Because I'll tell you, first of all, people, for example, I'll give an example of one of the companies that I've been training for the past 3 years. They gave us a contract for the past 3 years. They thought they were supposed to have changed the name of the company for them to rebrand. Then I went to convince them to say, no, the best rebranding is people rebranding. Because Jose, you can have this good infrastructure, machinery with bad attitude. People won't come and do business with you. But if you've got people with the right attitude, people are going to operate with you, even under the tree. It doesn't matter where you go, because people follow a very good spirit. So the strategy that we're given to all these organizations are, first of all, to understand how the systems are run for the business. Starting from what we call standard operational procedures. We offer that. How do you start your day? How do you end the day? Remember, I spoke about checklists. We put up all those checklists, and then people should understand their job description. We talk about also issues to do with team building, because if you don't put up all these strategies in place, you're going to find that you'll be going around the circles. And they also give out strategies like how to come up with incentives, commissioners to organizations. So if you don't attach the purpose to what you are doing, you realize that you don't know what you are doing at the end of the day. Even productivity, there will be no accountability, like you said from the beginning. But every time you attach, let's say this month we need to make this month, this much, this month, this week, every day, whatever it is. So those strategies, we have put them in place, and people also are seeing at what can be done. We are encouraging organizations to go an extra mile in whatever they do, because if you go an extra mile, you get extra results. We're encouraging people also to do things different from other people. For example, Life Package Solutions, we are one of the organizations. I believe my past experience is more than enough to come and teach the people. Like you've called me to come and say to the people here, I use no laptop, I use no book. I can speak from 08, 17 hours every single day for 5 days. And people have to move out with notes and everything. My experiences, what I've gone through, is more than enough. And this is what I've noticed with most of the facilitators. They want to speak about things they've never done. As a result, they don't give that touch and connection to the participants. When participants hear how you went through and how you achieved it and came out of it, they're also going to have hope that one day is going to happen to them. And for me, hope, HOPE, is help one person every day, help other people everywhere, humanity, opportunity, people, equality, and hold on, pain ends. For example, I'll mention Ruby's Filling Station. Dr. Steve has been the man behind the trainings and customer service for Ruby's Filling Stations. So when we found Ruby's Filling Station, even when I was saying the thought of changing the name, Ruby's is Corby. They just rebranded, and their head office is, world head office is in France. They are in about 15 countries presence. So I can safely say there's what they call mystery shoppers. So when we went there, the highest they did under mystery shoppers was 66%. When Life Package Solutions got there, we drove them up to 90+%. Sales, we found them at whatever we found them, but I can assure you, where Life Package Solutions, minimum increment sales, the following day, I don't believe in changing virtue. Because if I tell you that this is wrong and you begin to do the right thing, you should begin to produce different results. As I'm speaking to you, Ruby's has increased in terms of sales of fuel, lubricants, and also in terms of gas and everything by over 200% as you're speaking right now. So we can proud as Life Package Solutions to say we've impacted this. There are a number of organizations that we can mention that have benefited highly from this, but this is the most outstanding because they've been very consistent in terms of providing training to us and so on countrywide. The biggest challenge is to have a breakthrough to be known as Life Package Solutions. Here's Life Package Solutions with very good solutions, very good content that can be given out to people. But how to reach out to people? You know, people work with history. People work with what they know. So there's been people on the ground. There've been organizations, motivational speakers. You've seen them in Zambia that have made big names. So for you to go and people have got this in mind, they'll begin to think otherwise. They'll ask you, where have you been? What have you done? But through those challenges, we humbled ourselves, because humbling is actually one of those things that I looked at as a personality skill, where we just get organizations and say, we are asking you to speak to you for maximum 2 days, and you can give us any other time that you want to give us for free, for the purpose of getting to know us. And when we speak, we don't speak to anybody, we speak to key decision makers. So it has been one of our strategies to get business and to break away from that challenge of not being known. So when an organization gives you an opportunity, they'll tell you, okay, we're giving you 1 hour. The 1 hour will end up into 2 hours. 2 hours. I know I've seen people that have just gotten attracted to that to a purpose of 2 hours. This is how we even got this contract from Ruby's. We offered a free training to head office who understood what it is. And most people, they don't want to expose what they do because they don't have enough. And that's how come when they go, they don't get what we call customer intention. I can assure you, Life Package Solutions, wherever I've been, customers needs us back. And that's what we have a lot in our sector. We don't have much customers per se. We got a lot of customer intention. So to break through to that, it needs a lot of sacrifice. It needs a lot of patience. It needs a lot of consistency. It needs a lot of focus. Focus, FOCU, follow one course and you succeed. So young ones, life can never be passed through a microwave or escalator. Life is step by step. But the young of nowadays wants to do things today and become great tomorrow. Because I'll tell you, the foundation of every success is the experience. When you go through an experience, nothing will leave you. I've seen politicians obtaining money within a short time of period. And look at what happens to them when they leave their position. It's not even inspiring to become a politician now. Because when you leave the following year, the following way, if you leave the office, you find that everything is gone. Because these offices, I'll tell you, people respect the office, they don't respect individuals. So you have to take your time to learn, experience, and then you begin to get to number one. So the difference between the young ones and those who have made it, especially the company owners, is young ones, they will gang itself, or employees will gang themselves to begin to bring down the owner of the company, to bring them to their level. And when you look at where they are, no one is driving, no one has got a company. So for me, I would advise young ones to say, when you get into an employment and you see there's a difficult boss, study him. When you study him, you understand why he is what he is or what she is. And you can even achieve things more than the person that you're studying. But instead, look, for example, we hate Chinese for no reason. And if you look at how Chinese lives, they live better. They've got technology, they've got everything, chairs, everything. We are buying from there. But they come to Zambia because of our spiritual and demon of poverty. We don't like them. We have even given them names to say chocholis. I learned from every better person in my life. Young ones, let no one inspire you. Sometimes you followed your friends who land you into nothing. So patience is very important. Remain focused. Choose one thing. Jose, we always say, from 0 to 25 years, we call it accumulation period. You are supposed to discover these 4 things: your talent, your calling, your passion, and your gift. Between 25 years and 55 years, we call it consolidation period. It's money-making time for yourself. It's the most active moment of your lifetime. After 55 years and when you die, we call it spending period. Now you see even the design of employment is made. You have to work up to 60. After 60, for example, you're a soldier, and when you when you retire, they'll give you this pension, and you want to go and open a boutique that you've got no idea in. But if there's this thing that you've accumulated with time, you've invested in it in terms of time, in terms of energy and everything, and knowledge, and you've made mistakes, you've made losses, you'd have understood this thing at the end of the day. So for me, I would advise finally the young ones to say, if you choose a career, for example, if you want to be a doctor, you should be a doctor with an aim of opening your own hospital. Learn how things are done for a shortest time or period. Begin to push the agenda and become that great entrepreneur that will never fall. That's my advice to the young ones.
Thank you for watching the first episode of Boardroom Spotlight. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Dr. Steve. Stay tuned for more episodes where we'll continue to bring you inspiring stories and valuable insights from the world of business. Until next time, keep innovating and striving for excellence.